Yogarobix Part 2, Day 28. Go ahead and grab a block if you have one. If not, a throw pillow or regular pillow, folded in half will do. We're going to have a seat right on the block. Just like we do when we end practice, we're going to start seated with a little bit of elevation. Sitting up nice and tall, long straight spine, shoulders down, nice long neck. Let's close our eyes for a moment. You can have your hands in your lap or on your knees. We're going to just take a few breaths, becoming present on our mat, releasing all of the stress we have going on. Let's take a nice deep breath in through the nose. And let's empty out those lungs. Deep breath in through the nose. One more time. Go ahead and gently open up your eyes. Let's reach the arms up overhead as we inhale. And exhale, arms come down. 2 more times. Last one. Place the fingertips, the left fingertips over to the left side. Grab the big toe of your right foot and stretch it out. See if you can bring it out to the side. Take a deep breath here. Still keeping the integrity of the long spine. Try not to round through the back. I know that's hard. If you do round through the back, make sure you bring the leg down and you'll notice your spine will straighten up. And bring it in. This time, we rest that right leg on the mat. Right fingertips come out to the right side. We wrap our fingers around that left toe and lift. Should feel pretty tight. See if you can maybe bring it out to the side a little bit. Again, sitting up nice and tall. Take a deep breath here. And come on down. Go ahead and remove the block or the pillow. Put it over to the side. And come back to your crisscross applesauce. Sitting up nice and tall, we're going to hinge from the hips. Lead with the chest. Melt that chest right into your thighs. Walk those hands out. Melt your forehead to the mat. Take a deep breath here. Make sure both sits bones are still on the mat. And this time we walk it over to the right. Keep the elbows lifted. Come through center and over to the left. Take a deep breath here. Come back through center and walk it up. Let's place our right forearm on the mat. Both sits bones still on the mat. We open that chest. Left arm comes over that left ear. Getting a nice side stretch. Again, pushing through both sits bones on the mat. Take a deep breath. And let's come over to the other side. If you find that you're having trouble keeping both sits bones on the mat, you can use your block to place the forearm on to give you a little bit of height. And that will keep you lifted while keeping both sits bones on the mat. Right arm comes over right ear, chest is open. Take a deep breath. Come on up. Bring that right arm over, touch the upper part of your back with that right hand. Grabbing the elbow with your left hand and pull it down. loose gently. Take a breath here. And release. Left hand comes to the upper back this time. Right hand grabs that elbow. Pull it down just a little bit. And take a breath. And release. Bring your chin to chest. Turn and bring your chin towards your right shoulder. Come back through center and bring it towards your left. Back to center, over to the right. Back to center, over to the left. Back to center and lift. We look right, center, look left, center, right, center, left, center. Bring your right ear to your right shoulder. Do not lift the shoulder to meet the ear. Keep the shoulder down. Take a breath here. Come up through center. Left ear to left shoulder. Keep that shoulder down. And don't crink your neck to try to reach the shoulder. Our ear is not going to come anywhere near the shoulder. Don't worry about that. It's just to get a little stretch in the back of the neck and side of the neck. And come up. Look right to left, gently, a few times, and look down and up very gently and slowly. We always want to be very, very careful with our neck, and come back through center. Give yourself a little neck massage. I know we've all been looking at our phones much more, being home. A lot of us work from our phones. A lot of us are just on our phones because there's not much else to do. Let's do a couple shoulder rolls. Just warming up the joints. Reverse. Go ahead and bring that right hand out. Grab those four fingers, pull them under the forearm. So it looks like this. Maybe you're new here. If you're a veteran, you already know this. We do this often. There's only so many wrist stretches you can do, you know? By the way, you might hear some thunder and rain because it's like, well, it was pouring here. It's kind of gone away now, but it was really bad. It was like pouring. Okay, let's take it over to the left side. And lift. And do a couple wrist rolls. Reverse. Open up those hands really wide. Bring them into a fist. Open it up. Make a fist. One more time. Make a fist. Shake it out. All right, here we go. Let's flow. Come on into a tabletop. You know the drill. Knees under the hips. Hands under the shoulders. Oh, my watch is coming apart. Once you get there, nice long flat spine, neutral spine. Lift that belly button towards the spine to tighten the core. We're going to lift the right leg into fire hydrant and lower. Lift and lower. Do that a couple times. Doesn't need to be perfect. You don't need to get your leg way up high. You want to keep the integrity of the rest of your body as you lift. Once you've done that a few times, we're going to incorporate the left arm. So we're lifting both opposite arm and leg, keeping the core nice and tight as we breathe. Bring it in. Take it over to the left side. We lift the left leg in fire hydrant a few times as we breathe. Keeping the rest of the body nice and still. And now we incorporate the right arm. Tighten that core, lift that belly button, and lift. Make sure you're breathing. And bring it in. Let's bring the hips over to the left. Turn and look over the left shoulder. Bring the hips over to the right. Turn and look over the right shoulder. And let's come on into our downward dog. Lift those hips. Pedal through the feet. You can always notice how much tighter the backs of your legs are in the first downward dog. Now you can see why I do yoga every day. I couldn't imagine walking around with this tight stiffness all the time. Go ahead and melt the chest towards the thighs. Lift the tailbone up towards the sky. Putting pressure in the thumb and pointer finger pads in our hands. And try to sink those heels down towards the mat. We're going to take one deep breath here. On our next breath in, right leg comes high. Inhale. Exhale, we bring right knee to right elbow. Right back up. Inhale. Right knee to right elbow as you exhale. One more time, three-legged dog. Inhale. Exhale. Right knee to right elbow. We step it right back up to three-legged dog. Breathe in. And exhale. We step it up. Lower down on that back knee. Flatten on that back foot. Squeeze those inner thighs to lift. We're going to sink into that front hip. Reach the arms up overhead. We bring belly over thigh. From here, we bring those arms behind us, airplane arms, and bring them back up. Bring them back behind and overhead. One more time. And frame that front foot, pop up on the back foot, slide it back, coming into your high plank. Take a deep breath here. From here we kick up, alternating feet, lifting from the glute. Lift those hips up, walk those feet in, coming into your downward dog. Take a deep breath. Lift that tailbone towards the sky, melt the chest towards the thighs. Take a deep breath. And left leg comes high, three-legged dog. Inhale. Exhale. Left knee to left elbow. Inhale, three-legged. Exhale, left elbow. One more time. We come back up as you inhale. Exhale, we step it up. Lower down on that back knee. Flatten on that foot. Rise up, squeezing those thighs. Arms overhead. Sinking into that front hip. Belly over thigh. And we bring the arms behind. And lift. Bring them behind and lift. Behind and lift. And then frame that front foot. Pop up on the back. Come into your plank. Drop the knees down. Sit back. Regular child's pose. You can also wrap the arms around your legs. Take a deep breath. One more breath. And hands come up. Come back to your tabletop. Lift those hips. Downward dog. Melt the chest Lift the tailbone. Deep breath. One more deep breath. This time, right leg comes high as we inhale. We're going to exhale over to the opposite elbow now, 3 times. 3-legged, inhale, exhale to elbow. Inhale to 3-legged, exhale to elbow. Breathing in, this time we step it up. Keep the back leg lifted. Squeeze the inner thighs to lift. Arms overhead. Push back with the back heel. Keep the inner thighs squeezing. We're going to bring the belly to thigh, lift the arms up, come back to airplane arms, and up. One more time. Frame that front foot. Come back to your plank. Chaturanga. To modify, drop your knees down, lift your heels. You can also place 2 blocks in front of your hands if you have a hard time lowering to the mat. We're going to breathe in, exhale, lower down, open up, upward facing dog. We're going to inhale, bend the knees, curl one toe, then the other, exhale to downward dog. Deep breath. One more deep breath. This time, the left leg comes into 3-legged dog. We're going to do the opposite elbow 3 times and step it up into high lunge. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, come on up. Big inhale and exhale, step it up. Keep the back leg lifted, squeeze those thighs, rise up. Arms overhead, push back to the back heel. Belly over thigh. Come back to airplane arms. Lift and back. Lift and back. Frame that foot. Come on back to your plank. One more chaturanga. Drop the knees down to modify or use those blocks. Big inhale. Exhale. Open it up, inhale. Exhale. Pedal the feet. Breathe. Deep breaths. One more deep breath. On your next breath in, right leg comes high. Listen carefully. We're going to bring the 3-legged dog up. Now we're going to step it right into lizard. And then see if you can bring it right back to 3-legged dog from lizard. You can watch me once if you need. So we inhale here. Exhale, step it wide. Into your lizard. Back to 3-legged dog. Inhale. Exhale, lizard. 3-legged. Inhale. Exhale to lizard. Let's drop down on that back knee. Lower down to the forearms. If that's not in your practice, you can stay up on your hands. You can also roll onto the outside of that right foot to open up that hip a little more. You can also push that hip away. Push the leg away to open up the hip. Take a breath here. And roll it back in. Hop up on those hands. Curl the back toes under. See if you can come right back to your 3-legged dog. Lower it down. Back to your downward dog. Pedal the feet. Lift those hips towards the sky. Melt the chest towards the thighs. Take a deep breath here. On your next breath in, left leg comes high. We're going to exhale, step it wide, lizard. Come right back. Inhale. Exhale, lizard. Come right back. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, lizard. Drop down on that back knee. Come down to the forearms if that's in your practice. Roll onto the outside of that front foot if that's in your practice. You can also push the leg away to open up the hip. Take a deep breath. Roll it back in, pop up on those hands. Curl the toes, pop up on the back leg. See if you can come right back to your three-legged dog. Or just meet me in downward dog. Pedal the feet. Take a deep breath. One more deep breath. You got it. Come on up. Bring those tippy toes up. And let's walk it to the front of the mat. Coming into forward fold. Grab opposite elbows. Tailbone towards the sky. And rock it back and forth. Just like a pendulum. Hands come to the mat. Heel toe the feet about as wide as your mat. With a little bit of a turnout, we're going to come into Malasana, aka yogic squat. We push out with the elbows on the inside of those thighs. Squeeze with the thighs into the elbows. From here, let's slowly rise up. Bring the arms overhead. Take a deep breath. We're going to exhale, come right back down. Rise up. Reach the arms overhead. Deep breath in. Exhale, lower. And rise on up. We're going to heel toe a little bit wider. Bringing our wrists intertwined. So we wrap hands together, palms together, overhead. Let me face you. So you're at the top of your mat. I'm on the side of my mat so you can see me better. Hands are intertwined. Come into your goddess pose. Tailbone tucks under, chest lifts. We lift the right heel, then the left. Right and left. Both and both. Repeat, right, then left, right, then left, both, both, and come on up. Heel toe your feet in at the front of your mat. Hip width distance, reach the arms overhead. Big inhale, exhale, hands to heart. We're going to melt the left toes into the mat. Spreading through that foot, hands to heart. Right knee lifts up as we come right into our warrior three. Bend on that front leg. We're going to melt back to our warrior two. Arms come out, reach at front, tip it back. Exalted warrior. Back to your warrior two. We're going to turn on the back foot. Come onto the ball of that back foot, coming into a high lunge. Arms overhead. And then we twist open to the left side of our mat. Sinking into that front leg. And cartwheel it down. Bend on that back knee, step it up. Let's slowly roll up. Inhale and exhale. Hands to heart. Lift up on all those right toes, place them down, melt that foot into the mat, spread through that foot. Taking up as much space as possible. Left knee comes up. We come right into warrior three. Hold it here. Take a breath. Bend on that front leg and we melt it back to our warrior two. Open it up. Reach front, tip back to exalted warrior. Take a breath. Back to warrior two arms. You might need to heel toe the back foot in just a little bit. It might be too far away to turn onto the ball of that back foot to come into your high lunge, arms overhead. We slowly begin to turn and sink into that front leg as we twist open to the right. Take a deep breath here and cartwheel it down, framing that front foot. Bend on that back leg and step it up. Forward fold. Slowly rise up. Arms overhead. Exhale, hands to heart. Melt on that left foot, best as you can, spreading through that foot, taking up a lot of space. We lift the right knee. Grab the outside of that foot. You might need to hold onto a wall here or a chair. Otherwise, bring that left hand out for counterbalance. And see if you can just stretch it out in front. Straightening on the standing leg. You can keep a bend in that front leg. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Slowly fold it in. And we're going to twist open to the right. Bringing that right arm behind and look back at that thumb. Twisting through that torso. And let's bring it down. Shake it out, take a breath. Let's melt through that right foot now. Spread it out, take up a lot of space with that foot. Should be evenly spread on the mat. Bring that left knee up. Again, you might need to hold onto a wall, a chair, or just bring the right arm out for counterbalance. We grab the outside of that left foot, straighten on the standing foot, and stretch out the left leg as best as you can. You might need to have a bend in that knee. Take a breath here. Slowly bend it in. Try to stay lifted as you twist open to the left. See if you can look back at that thumb. Twisting through the torso. Take a breath. And release. Shake it out. Reach the arms overhead. Inhale. Exhale, swan back down. Coming into a halfway lift. Hands on the shins, nice long spine. Open up through the chest. Inhale. And exhale, forward fold. Hands come to the mat. Step it back into a plank. And drop the knees down, swing them around. Move that out of the way. Slowly lay back, one vertebrae at a time. We're gonna keep the upper back lifted. Bring the arms overhead, steeple grip. So all the fingers interlace except for the two pointer fingers. Bring them over the ears, upper back off the mat. Keep the chin and the chest open. We lift those legs and lower and lower. Kind of like a vertical scissor kick. As you breathe. Keep that upper back lifted. Come back to the steeple grip. Bring those arms overhead. Keep that chin and chest away from one another. And now we do some bicycles. Breathing will help so much. Reverse it. Hug it in. Deep breath. Give yourself a little back massage. We're going to come into a bridge pose. If you have a block nearby, grab it. If you have a couple pillows nearby, grab them. If you're just working on your bridge pose and you find that you have trouble lifting your hips up very high, you can bring the heels close to your glutes. Feet are hip distance apart. As you begin to lift the pelvic floor and you lift your hips, you can climb up onto your shoulders, bringing those shoulder blades together to give you a little bit of height. You can also place a block underneath you just to hold you in bridge, a little bit of an assistance, or even put it vertical to give you a little bit higher of a bridge. Keep that neck open. Keep it away from the chest as much as you can, and just breathe. If you do not have a block, a couple pillows stacked underneath your hips to keep your hips lifted will help. Maybe even a couple of books stacked up, and just breathe. But the trick is to kind of climb up onto your shoulders, keep those shoulder blades together. You can also interlace your hands underneath you. That helps. Take one more breath here. Make sure you keep those knees together. Don't let them splay open. You want to keep the knees in line with the hips and chest open. This is also a great pose to prepare you for plow pose. And even if you are already doing plow pose, it will definitely help to better that pose and posture. Okay, let's go ahead and rock and roll to a seat, or you can turn to one side and just come into a seat, whatever you're comfortable with. Come into a little ball if you are going to rock and roll, and let's go. Woo! I love it. It brings me back to my childhood, and not only that, it gives me a nice back massage. So, okay, here we are. So we sat up on our block in the beginning, and I had us grab each leg and lift. So this time we're going to do it without the block, but I want you to stay nice and tall. And in order to remember to do that, you can bring your left arm behind your back to keep you nice and lifted. We're going to reach that leg in front. Don't worry about getting it high up right away. Just worry about the rest of your posture. Make sure your spine is tall. Like I could do this, but you see how sloppy that is? Look what it's doing to my spine and my tailbone. No, sit up nice and tall. Nice long spine. The leg will follow eventually. See if you can open it up to the side. Take a deep breath. And release. Open that hand, bring it into a fist. Do that a few times. I know that can hurt your fingers when you grab onto the toe like that. All right, let's grab the left toes this time with the left hand. Right hand comes behind to keep us nice and long. And let's lift that leg. in front. Again, keeping a nice long spine. Deep breath. And see if you can open it up to the side. Make sure you're breathing. And foot is flexed. And release. Bring that hand out, widen the fingers, and then bring it into a fist. Do that a couple times. And let's see if we can try both feet this time. If you feel like a block behind your tailbone will help keep you lifted, go for it. We're going to lift, keep the chest lifted as you stretch out both legs to the side. The more you lift your chest, the more it helps you to balance. The straighter the spine, the better the balance. Deep breath in. One more breath. And bring it in. All right. Let's finish off with either a seated meditation, or if you want to lay back in your corpse pose, go for it. During your meditation, I want you to use it as a time to just use this practice as a mirror, to see yourself for who you really are, to kind of let go of all of the negative things that you think about yourself, even if it's just for a few moments. Really take this time to get to know yourself, what makes you tick. It's kind of like a reflection of yourself, meditation. Time to just be with you, shutting off your mind, being still, letting go of stress, letting go of everything. Just you, yourself, and you, and the mat. Let's sit up nice and tall if we're in a seat. Otherwise, lay back comfortably in your corpse pose. If you are lying on your mat, let everything go. Relax your body. Sink heavily into the mat. And if you're seated, sitting up nice and tall, nice long spine, nice long neck. Let's everyone bring your left hand to your heart, right hand to your belly. I want you to clear your mind as best as you can. And we're just going to breathe slow, controlled, deep breaths for a few moments. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose and completely empty out your lungs. Continue breathing on your own now. Everybody bring hands to your heart. Big smile. Gently open up your eyes. I can't wait for an instrument that I bought for our end meditation. Not sure if I'm going to begin and end the practice with it or just end the practice with it. But I do know, I think a lot of you guys will love it because it's really cool. So that should be here any day, I hope. I cannot wait. Hopefully I can start May's series off with it. That would be great. If not, it comes when it comes, right? Let's go ahead and reach the arms overhead as we take a nice big inhale. Look up at those hands. Hold the breath for a moment. And exhale, release. One more time, big breath in. Look up towards those hands. Hold the breath. And exhale, release. Hands back to your heart. Thank you guys so much for practicing with me for day 28 and meeting me on the mat. I look forward to this every day, and I hope you do too. And if I didn't announce it here, I know there's some of you that don't follow me on Instagram, so I'm going to announce it here as well. I have been taking my 200-hour certification course for teaching yoga. So I just started that. Hopefully it'll only take me like 2 months, maybe less. So we'll see. All right, guys, I'll see you tomorrow for day 29, I hope. Have a great rest of your day. Namaste.